So, in The Alchemist Apprentice, The Mind That Matters, we bring forth what we gaze upon. The number four is very, very important. So, if you look at nature, for example, everything runs in a sequence of numbers. So, you have four seasons. You have spring, you have summer, you have fall, you have winter, and then over and over and over again. It keeps repeating itself. It never changes. No matter what happens, the seasons don't change. Now, it is the same with the elements. You have earth, air, fire, water. These things are constantly interacting with each other. So, if you're looking for business, like, 'cause our life is physical, mental, spiritual, financial, and social. And the financial part, well, it kind of dictates everything else that's going to happen in life. Because if a person doesn't have any money, well, nothing else really matters. I mean, if your health fails, you're screwed. All five of those things are equal. But money in our life, in our society, is kind of like the foundation. Spiritual life is more important than your financial, but in the earthly realm that we live in, the financial world is a little bit more important than people think it is. So if you have a business like I do, you're always hiring and firing people. You new people coming in, old people coming out, and you have to keep these things managed properly. So if I'm trying to hire somebody, I analyze their psyche from four different areas. I want to understand their capacity, number one. Now, what can this person do? So, capacity, you can look at physical capacity. I mean, you have a strong person and a weak person, a big person, a small person. So, a big person can just pick up something super heavy and move it from across the room without even trying. And then you have a smaller person, he can train all day long. He's never going to be as strong as this bigger person without even ever trying because he's born with a different capacity. The same thing with the human mind. Now, some people think that IQ isn't that important. Well, I kind of disagree. I mean, EQ is more emotional intelligence is very, very important. But your IQ is also very important because if you look at a person who has an IQ of like 150, Bill Gates, for example, he can play like three, four different chess games at the same time. His mind is working at such a fast level that the average person can't even comprehend what's going on in his brain. I mean, the average IQ is only about 100. So if you have like I'm about 125, 130, depends on which test I take. I'm not that smart, but I'm not an idiot. I mean, I can play one game of chess and kind of manage and maneuver my way around a little bit. I'm not that bad. I'm not the best. I'm okay. If you look at a person who has IQ of 80, their capacity is very, very limited. I mean, you can still train them, you can teach them what to do, but you have to understand that they can only go so far as what they can handle. Now, that's capacity, number one. Number two is potential. So can this person learn anything? A person who has a closed mind can't really learn anything else because they think they already know everything else. So somebody said, a wise person said that the day you stop learning is the day you stop dying. Because even when our human body decays, the mind keeps on growing. The mind is plastic, neuroplastic. That means it continues to change up until the day that you die. So you can be an 80-year-old person and still be learning new stuff. So if I'm looking at an employee and I want to see how much can they learn, is this person teachable? And then number three is their personality. So once you place somebody in the first two categories, you put them to the third one. I want to know who I'm dealing with. You can analyze them in the big five. How conscientious is this person? Do they wake up on time? Are they really organized in how they do things? Are they industrious? Are they open? And then are they neurotic? And then there's other areas that you can, either way, get their personality mapped. I want to know somebody, are they agreeable? Are they disagreeable? Are they aggressive? Are they more passive? So once you get somebody mapped, their personality mapped properly, you know how to use them properly. It's called placement. So some people are better at certain jobs than other jobs, but their personality doesn't necessarily fit where you want to have them. So you kind of move them to a different area. And then number four, I think is the most important, which is character. Even if a person has the other three, but you can't trust them. So they're always moving around like they have a bad history, like they work one place and then they go more to another place and then another place. And they're constantly moving around. You can that's like a red flag. How come you can't be at one place for a long period of time. And that's because maybe they have some moral ambiguity. Maybe there's something wrong with their character. And if that's the case, if I can't trust them, then I don't really need them. I don't see this is probably not going to be a good fit. So that's number 4. This number is kind of like a foundation. Like you build in a house. You have 4 pillars, and then you kind of build everything on top of that. If you understand how these numbers work, you can use them to your advantage.